Alright, hi people, it's Scsigs here, and I'm here to do an unboxing for you guys today of the Nintendo Switch 2 wireless GameCube controller from Nintendo themselves, as a result of them needing to be able to get as many of these out as possible to the people who want them. They have limited only one per customer on the Nintendo store, so yeah. I imagine at some point they'll raise that limit, but yeah, for now it's just one per customer. One per account, I mean, more so. But yeah, it's a bit more money than I think it should be. It's like 70 some bucks after tax. So yeah, I think it's like 65 on the store. Then at least for my state, 5 more bucks for tax. But yeah. But yeah, so we got this. Or so we got that out of the way. So yeah, right, I was gonna come whatever. So we have that. You can see the controller through the window here, which is nice. Switch online and all that. Nintendo GameCube controller. So yeah, this is the first like wireless GameCube controller I've had. I have used the Wavebird controller at someone else's house, but yeah. Yeah. So on the top you got Nintendo. It's a bit dinged up, but it's otherwise fine. Not like I'm gonna need the box anyways. Nintendo GameCube controller. So yeah. Controller only compatible with Switch 2 system. Features the C button, which can open game chat, and the capture button. So yeah, as well as a ZL button, which I don't really understand why for the Wii U at the very least. When they started re-releasing like GameCube controllers themed after Smash Bros, why they didn't slightly redesign it to have a ZL button, but whatever. But yeah, before the first use, charge the controller with the Nintendo Switch 2 AC adapter or the included USB charging cable. So yeah, official Nintendo seal. Everything. Controller will automatically pair with Nintendo's Switch 2 system when it is turned on in TV mode and connected with the USB charging cable. So, yeah. So, here we go. So, yeah. So, here we go with the controller. Just take it out through this. A little bit of a plastic behind it. So yeah, to fit in the extra electronics, I think they made it slightly bigger. This doesn't feel exactly like a regular GameCube controller, but it's close enough, and it's the same like texture, same buttons, which is nice, same control stick and D-pad, or control sticks and D-pad, start and pause right there. Right here on the top, you got the differences. So there's the Z button, then the ZL. I don't understand why they didn't make this like this. That doesn't make any sense to me. We got the capture button, the home button, the chat button, and the sync button. You have the USB-C port on there. Let's take this out. We got the USB 2 or 3.0 to USB-C cable, which is nice of them to include. Not that I wouldn't think that they would. But yeah, that seems to be... What is this, like... I think this is like... It's between 3 and 6 feet, I'm assuming. Probably 6 feet. So... Let me plug this in. I have a what do you call it? A thing with, the, USB port on there for these things. So yeah, you can see it's charging right there. It doesn't seem to be any... Yeah, there's no instructions or anything with it. So let's see. Controllers. So we got Switch 2. Oh, okay, so I have to... Okay. Okay, I see. There we go. So you can see. So yeah. Yeah, this feels just about the same as the Hori controller that I have, but the texture's just different. So that's honestly really cool to have that like that. So yeah. So let me... Just trying to enter sleep mode with it. So yeah, so that just disconnects that. So that is actually really cool. So yeah, so that is basically the new wireless GameCube controller from Nintendo for Switch 2, which is actually really cool. I do like that they did that. So yeah, granted, doesn't beat the original GameCube controllers from 2001, but it is still nice. So yeah. So, yeah, I was gonna compare it to the Hori controller that I have and the Smash Bros. GameCube controller, but forgot about those before I started recording this video, and I don't care to go get them. So, yeah, just take my word for it. It's not as good as the original GameCube controller, but it is still good. So yeah. Hey everyone, so I said I wasn't doing it during the main video, but I am tagging this on to the end of it, just really quick to compare the new wireless GameCube controller to a classic one and the Hori gamepad that I have. So yeah, so as I showed off during the main video, or the main part of the video, here is the wireless one. Feels pretty good in terms of the texture. All the buttons feel right because it's made directly by Nintendo. Here is the Smash Bros. GameCube controller from 2014. Yeah, that feels right in regards to that. Here's the Hori Switch controller. As all that, as you can hear, there's already a difference in the buttons. The texture is almost the same, but it's more smooth. Even on the parts where my fingers don't really touch much. So, yeah. So, differences between this and a classic GameCube controller. So I think I was probably wrong during the main review part. Mainly, I was just thinking that this feels like a little bit more out than a classic GameCube controller, but just looking at it and eyeballing it, it doesn't look that much different, if at all. It looks like it's the same, like, casing, but with slightly different insides. So yeah, the tops are exactly the same, just about, in terms of button layout and stick configurations and everything. The sides here are worn down by years of using this, but yeah, but the texture on the parts where my fingers usually don't touch is exactly the same, basically. So yeah, so whatever they do to the plastic when they make these, it's exactly the same between both. On the top, replacing the wire that you connect to your console, we just have on top here, you have the same buttons. The R buttons feel slightly different, but yeah. Z buttons feel exactly the same. The main buttons feel exactly the same as well in terms of pressing, which is nice. So we can assume those are roughly the same. But on top of that, you have on top here is the ZL button, which, yeah, I really think that they could have just made this over here and just put like ZR or something. on this instead. But yeah, but replacing the wire, you have a USB-C port, you have the sync button, you have the screenshot button, the home button, and the chat button. So yeah, and obviously these lights. So that is basically, I think, the majority of the differences. These are slightly different on what is printed here. But yeah, that's basically the majority of the differences you'll automatically see. Now, in terms of the Hori gamepad, I think the Hori gamepad is a little bigger than a usual GameCube controller. Like they modded it for some reason. But yeah. But I think this is probably based on the same like schematics or blueprints or whatever, or project files or whatever, as the original GameCube controller. This just feels a little bigger, it feels a little off as a result of that. So yeah, just also like, and I think this has been a big like maybe criticism of this, or just something people point out. These buttons don't like feel the same as when you click an actual button on an actual on a real GameCube controller. They're just slightly off. Then on top of that, this stick is replaceable. It has a stick that is like this, in case if you're used to a more general like thumbstick from other controllers. I just replaced it with the C stick because it just feels better in my hands. But yeah, and then in terms of the D-pad, it does feel slightly different as well compared to the actual GameCube controller. Yeah, so on top here, I have the Sonic symbol because I got this one specifically. It was either this or the Luigi one. But yeah, but you have the plus button here, you have the home button here, the screenshot button here, and the minus button there. Here, you just have the start button, and you just have those on top. So yeah, and as a result of them, I think making this bigger, they modded this to have regular like triggers and bumpers. So yeah, and this is what I think that they should take inspiration from for the extra Z button, instead of making it a really subtle thing here. I think that this would do much better in terms of that. But other than that, again, it feels a little bigger. So yeah, and I think it is just eyeballing it, just a smidge bigger as a result. Probably to fit either bigger hands or to have slightly different like wiring inside of the casing. So yeah. So the good thing about the wireless GameCube controller is, thanks to it being made directly by Nintendo, it's the exact same casing and exact same size, it seems, as an actual game, or as the original GameCube controller. Compared to the Hori gamepad, it's really, I think, a subjective kind of thing. If you like the extra size of the gamepad, because it's a little bit bigger, like I said, than an actual GameCube controller, it might feel weird to you to use a slightly smaller GameCube controller. But to me, I think the original size is the best for the GameCube controller. When I picked up the Hori gamepad and I started using it, while it was okay to play with, the slightly bigger size is slightly a bit to get used to. Then the buttons on the Hori gamepad do not feel like, and they don't sound like the actual GameCube controller. And to me, that's kind of the thing that you need to nail. It's close enough, but you will not know the actual thing in terms of a GameCube controller. The button presses on the GameCube controller are also a bit more subtle, and the sound is a bit different than on the Hori gamepad. And yeah, so like I have been trying to say for the last few minutes, the Hori gamepad is not bad. It's just not the same as an actual GameCube controller. The new wireless GameCube controller is pretty much exactly the same as a classic GameCube controller, or as a wired one, from the GameCube, and when the Wii U version of Smash Bros. Launched, as well as I think when they launched the Switch version, and they re-released those. The the GameCube controller adapter for Wii U. They re-released that so you can use it for Switch. Plus, I believe re-released the controller itself. So yeah, if I'm in Japan, when I'm in Japan next, and if I can stumble upon a white GameCube controller that they released over there for Smash Bros., I will pick one up. This was the one that they released internationally. It was black and it has the Switch or the Smash Bros. Logo on it. But they released a white one in Japan, and I think maybe some other places. So, yeah. But, yeah, so to just have a quick final thoughts on the controller after comparing it, I think that it is good. They did a really good job with adapting it to a wireless thing that runs on, I don't know if it's Bluetooth or whatever other kind of wireless signal that Nintendo uses for their stuff on the Switch. But yeah, and again, it's only usable on the Switch too. So yeah, if you're gonna make your purchase, just be aware of that. So yeah, you cannot use it on the original Switch 1. I've seen other videos with people confirming that, so yeah. So I think it's a slightly different wireless protocol, and it's probably also programmed that way. So yeah, because Nintendo, they refused to release the GameCube emulator on the original Switch, even though the original Switch could handle it. We know that because they ported other GameCube games to the Switch. So yeah. And also they make this incompatible with the original Switch. But yeah, so that's basically it. So yeah, links in the description, all my shit, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.